Item Information Window Profile View. The profile view of the item information window contains basic information about the item. Field descriptions. Item number and name. If you are editing an existing item, the item number and name appear at the top of the window. If you're creating a new item, enter an identifying number and name for the new item. You can use numbers, letters and symbols in the item number. Inactive item. Select this option, if you rarely use this item and you don't want it to appear in selection lists. If you make the item inactive, existing transactions won't be affected, and you'll still be able to enter new transactions for the item. When you print the items list summary or items list detail, you have the option to omit inactive items. Quantity on hand. If you include this item in your inventory, this field displays the current on-hand quantity for the item. The quantity displayed is the total for all locations. Premier range only current value. If you include this item in your inventory, the total value of the inventory on hand for the item is displayed in this field. Average cost. If you include this item in your inventory, this field displays the average cost of the item. Average cost is calculated by dividing the total value of the item quantities by the number of items on hand. Committed. If you include this item in your inventory, this field displays the quantity of the item entered on sales orders. Items that are ordered but not yet invoiced to customers. On order. This field displays the quantities of all items from purchase orders. Items that have been ordered but not yet received from your suppliers, or items that have been ordered but not yet billed to you by your suppliers. Available. If you include this item in your inventory, this field displays the quantity available for the item. An available quantity is calculated by adding an amount in the on-hand column to the amount in the on-order column, and subtracting the amount in the committed column. I buy this item, I sell this item, I inventory this item. Select the option that best describes what you do with the item. For these items, select items you buy that are not for resale, and whose quantities and values you don't need to track. For example, items for office use only. I buy this item. Items you buy and sell, but whose quantities and values you don't need to track. I buy this item. I sell this item. Items you buy and sell and whose quantities and values you want to track. I buy this item. I sell this item. I inventory this item. Items or services you want to include on an item invoice. I sell this item. Finished goods you manufacture using other items. I sell this item. I inventory this item. Raw material you inventory and use as a component to build other items. I buy this item. I inventory this item. Intermediate goods in the process, including parts used to manufacture finished goods. I inventory this item. Cost of sales account, income account for tracking sales, asset account for item inventory, expense account for tracking costs. After selecting how you use an item, select an account in the next field, account. Description. Cost of sales account. Type or select the account you want to use to track the costs associated with producing this item. Income account for tracking sales. Type or select the account you want to use to record the income you receive from the sale of this item. Asset account for item inventory. Type or select the account you want to use to record the total value of this item. Expense account for tracking costs. Type or select the account you want to use to record costs associated with purchasing this item. Copy from button. Click to copy another item's information to this item record. All information for the item you choose will be copied to the current item record except for the following: item number, item name, supplier item number, auto build information and history information. Spell. Click to check spelling in the name field. New. Click to create a new item record. OK. Click to save your changes and close the window. Item Information Window. Item Details View. The Item Details view of the Item Information window enables you to enter additional details about an item, including a description, custom lists and fields, and a picture of the item. Field descriptions. Item number and item name. The item number and name are displayed at the top of the window. Picture. If you have a picture of the item, you can add it by double-clicking this field. If you've renamed or moved a picture that was previously displayed, cannot find specified graphic file will appear in the picture field. You need to add the picture again. Description. Enter a description of this item in this field. Use item description on sale. Select this option if you want the item description you entered in the description field to appear in place of the item name on invoices and purchase orders. If you want to record additional information about your items, you can create custom lists and custom fields for your items. The field information can then be included on customized reports and forms. Buying Details View. The Buying Details view of the item information window is where you enter purchase details for the selected item. This view is available only if you've selected the I buy this item option in the Profile tab of the window. Field descriptions. Item number and name. The item number and name appear at the top of the window. Last purchase price including tax. The price you entered on your last bill for this item appears in this field. This price is automatically used as the price on purchases you enter unless you select the preference that allows the standard cost to be used instead. Standard cost. Enter the amount that is standard for this item. Standard cost can be used instead of the last purchase price as the default price on purchases. To use the standard cost price as the default price, select Use Standard Cost as the default price on purchase orders and bills option in the Preferences window Inventory tab. Buying Unit of Measure. Enter the method by which this item is packaged when you purchase it. The unit of measure you enter here can be printed on purchases. Some typical units of measure include each, pair, case, gross, hour and day. For example, if you purchase bottled water by the case, enter case in this field. Number of items per buying unit. Enter the number of items that make up one buying unit. This number is used to determine how many items should be added to inventory when you purchase one buying unit. For example, if you buy bottled water by the case, and there are 24 units in the case, enter 24 in this field. Tax code when bought. Select the tax code that most often applies to this item when you buy it. The selection you enter here will appear as a default entry in the Purchases window when you enter purchases for the item. Optional restocking information for the to-do list section. Minimum level for restocking alert. If you want to, enter the quantity level at which you want to purchase more of this item. Reminder will appear in the to-do list when you need to reorder the item. Primary supplier for reorders. If you want to, enter or select the name of the supplier from whom you usually purchase this item. This supplier will automatically be selected if you prepare the order from the to-do list reminder. Supplier item number. Enter the number assigned to this item by the item's primary supplier. Default reorder quantity. Enter the number of items you normally purchase when you order this item, using the buying unit of measure you've specified for this item. For example, if you purchase 100 pairs of shoes, enter 100 in this field. Item information window. Selling details view. The selling details view of the item information window is where you enter selling details for the selected item. This view is available only if you've selected the I sell this item option in the Profile tab of the window. Field descriptions. Item number and name. The item number and name appear at the top of the window. Base selling price. Enter the price at which you usually sell one unit of measure of this item. For example, if you sell bottles of water in cases, enter the price of one case of water. Selling unit of measure. Enter the method by which this item is packaged when you sell it. Some typical units of measure include each, pair, case, gross, hour and day. As an example, assume one of your items is a lamp set that's always sold in pairs. This item could be assigned a unit of measure of pair. Number of items per selling unit. Enter the number of items that make up one selling unit. This number is used to determine how many items should be subtracted from inventory when you sell one buying unit. For example, if you sell bottled water by the case, and there are 24 bottles in the case, enter 24 in this field. This field appears only if you select the I sell this item and I inventory this item options in the Profile tab of the Item Information window. Tax code when sold. Select the tax code that applies to this item when you sell it. The code you enter here will appear as a default entry in the sales window when you enter invoices for the item. Inclusive-exclusive prices are tax-inclusive. Select this option to enter tax-inclusive amounts in the Selling Details view. If, after entering the selling prices, you want to change from tax-inclusive to tax-exclusive pricing, you need to edit all of the selling prices in the window to reflect the change. Calculate sales tax on. Select the price you wish to use to calculate your sales tax. Base selling price will use the price you enter in the corresponding field in this window. Actual selling price will use the price you manually enter when you enter the sale in the sales window. Pricing levels table Premier range only pricing level labels. You can maintain up to 6 price levels for your items. By default, price levels are labeled A to F, but you can edit these labels in the Price Levels view of the Custom List and Field Names window. Quantity over. Enter the quantity of this item, over which you want to assign a new selling price. For example, if you want to create pricing levels for sales of this item in quantities of 25 or more, enter 25 in this field. The first quantity to which you assign a selling price always will be any quantity over 0.00, therefore you can change the first quantity over entry. You can make up to 4 different quantity over entries. The number you enter in each quantity over field must be greater than the number in the previous over field. Pricing levels. Enter the selling price for this item in each pricing level field. Item Information Window History View. The history view of the Item Information window is where you can view sales history activity for previous financial years and the current financial year for the selected item. If you change the history details of an item, you will affect inventory reports for the related period. If you need to change the value of an item in the current financial year, you can do this in the Adjust Inventory window. Field Descriptions. Item number and name. The item number and name appear at the top of the window. Financial year. Click the right and left zoom arrows in this field to view sales history for this item from other financial years. Bought and Purchases columns. This list displays the number of units purchased and the purchase amount for this item in previous financial years, the current financial year and the next financial year. Sold, Sales and Cost of Sales columns. These columns display the number of units sold, the total sales amount and the total cost of sales amount for this item for past financial years, the current financial year and the next financial year. Item Information Window Auto Build View. If the item you are viewing is a finished item, meaning it is an item built from other component items in your inventory, this view contains details of the component items used to build the selected item. Field Descriptions. Item number and item name. The item number and item name are displayed at the top of the window. Minimum level for restocking alert. Enter the minimum quantity of the finished item that you want to have on hand. If the quantity on hand falls below this amount, you'll be reminded to build more in the to-do list. What it takes to build inventory unit S of this item. This field indicates the number of finished items that can be built from the items and quantities that appear in the component item list. You can change the quantity displayed in this field by clicking the Edit List button and changing the information in the Auto Build Information window. Component Item List. This list displays the names, item numbers and quantities of the component items required to build the finished items. You can edit the component item list by clicking the Edit List button and changing the information in the Auto Build Information window. Edit List. Click to open the Auto Build Information window. In the Auto Build Information window, you can enter or change the components used to create the finished item, whose information is currently displayed. Item Information Window Locations View. MYOB Premier Range Only. If you use multiple locations, This view of the item information window displays the current on-hand quantity of an item stored at each location. It is also where you can select the default locations for selling and receiving the item. Field descriptions. Item number and name. The item number and name is displayed at the top of the window. Search. If you want to, enter the ID of a location you wish to find in the list. Location ID column. Displays the location ID name column. Displays the location name. On-hand column. This column displays the current on-hand quantities of the selected item in each location. Default. Ship. Sell. Auto build from location. Select the default location that will be displayed when you enter this item on a sales order or invoice. Note that you can select a different location on individual orders and invoices if you need to. Default receive. Auto build into location. Select the default location that will be displayed when you enter this item on a purchase order or bill. Note that you can select a different location on individual purchase orders and bills if you need to. On-hand total. This field displays the item's total on-hand quantity in all of your locations. Move items. Click to open the Move Items window, where you can move items between your locations.